Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Shem Rakakadash.
We're going to say double honors to our apostles and elders here at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. January 4th, 2026, year of apostasy, agents, and sellouts. Over the weekend, you had another stunt that was pulled by Babylon, right? They apparently bombed Venezuela, went in there and stole the president and his wife, kidnapped, right? Of course, nothing just happens, right? So looking at everything, and it all smells fishy, okay? The idea of Babylon, Nero, he's trying to push Trump, he's trying to push the idea that this is for the betterment of the people. He came out and said, we want peace for the Venezuelan people. We're going to run the country until we get the right person in place. It's all about the people. We're here to try to help the people, okay? Guess what? The scriptures warn you when someone comes up to say that, we want peace, etc. The scriptures actually warn you that actually some evil is about to happen, okay? Furthermore, everything that this man did is a distraction. Because for one, I just did listen up. For one, that whole fake ass assassination attempt, right? That right there was proof Trump was gonna be president. Clearly he became president. They set him up. Oh, he beat an assassination attempt. He's the man, you know. He's the man for the plan. What you gotta realize is everything that this devil does is psyops, and it's to bring about their agenda. Okay, the Charlie Kirk situation, the bust, that all that was to justify martial law, Palantir, lockdown over the internet, censorship. That's what this is all about. They put it in place, but they need the event to happen to bring about what they want to bring about. And they're moving fast. Okay. Palantir is supposed to be an AI, automatic, driven to monitor everything that's said on the internet, to flag anything that they consider hate speech, and that will eventually potentially lead to another attack like Charlie Kirk, right? That's what that's about. What's that's going to lead to? Shutdowns of the internet, freedom of speech being gone. And what does the scripture tell you that that's? The famine of the word. All this is happening right now. So that whole Maduro thing, look, they walked the man out the back, okay? They walked him out the back. This is all to show we Babylon, yeah, we you can't mess with us. We still capable of going in somewhere and taking you. You don't want to mess with us, right? Trump he's the man for the job. Really, they just trying to distract from the Epstein files and all this other stuff. And what he came out today and said, we want peace. Before he was nominated as the so-called peace president, he was honored to be nominated to be had a Nobel Peace Prize from Benjamin Satan, not a real Jew. So he's set up to be the peace guy, right? But the scriptures tell you about that peace. Now you go ahead and read that. Show you that it's really about to be some evil. So you had them stupid ass northern kingdoms rejoicing over that. Yay, good. Okay, because you know the Venezuelans are primarily Naphtali and Asher, right? But you know, scripture said, can you find that characterized in Hosea, Ephraim, silly dove? It tell you about northern kingdom. Okay, so Psalms 120. Yep.
Okay. This is the book of Psalms 120, starting at the top. A song of degrees in my distress, I cried unto the Lord Yahweh, and he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord Yahweh, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given unto thee, or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue? Sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper. Woe is me that I sojourn in Meshach, that I dwell in the tents of Kedar. My soul has long dwelt with him that hateth peace. For I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war.
Right. Who is he talking about? The wicked, Esau, Edom. Fierce words. They hate peace. Just because they say they want peace, they don't want peace. Okay? As they say, peace was never an option. There will never be a peace deal in the land of Gaza because the devils want the whole thing. But when you look that up, that's really just them stealing the birthright because they call it Project Greater Israel, which is what the blessing that the Lord gave to Abraham and Jacob, which was from all the landmass from the Egypt River, the Nile, all the way to Euphrates. That's what they want. And even so, that means they don't want peace; they want expansion. And even the second president of Egypt, Nabdul Gamar Nasser, sat down with someone from the White House in 1975 or 1965, I believe 1975. You can look it up. And it was talking about peace. And the guy from the White House was like, how do we establish peace within the Islamic nations? And he's like, first of all, you Edomites, you don't want peace. He said, every time we sit down to make a peace treaty deal, you all back out. And he said, and there'll never be a peace because as long as you all are talking, the is not Israelis are talking about expansion, then there will never be peace because you don't want peace. You want complete control, and you want the whole land. That's what this is all about. But they disguise it as peace. Trump said, "I'm gonna come up with a peace treaty for Gaza, right? I'm gonna come up with. I want peace with Venezuela. Well, guess what that means? It's about to be war. Okay, you stupid ass Northern Kingdom who rejoicing over that. You know, you siding with Trump. Yeah, Trump did a good thing. We never liked Maduro. We want to go back to our country. Y'all talking all this shit, but you ain't gonna go back. Okay, but you think he for you? Just like when those the Cubans was rallying for Trump. We want Trump for president. As soon as Trump got in office, what ICE did came around y'all stupid asses up to send you on your way. And they did like they compared. They like this guy was rooting for Trump. Now he's out of here. It's like a whole slew of y'all coming for you. But remember, you voted for him, right? Because you thought that he just wanted the bad ones. All right? No, he wants you. He want all y'all, and he wants you in concentration camps.
And a lot of them trying to identify
white. Yeah. Hey, Simeon too. Simeon got that bad.
Real bad.
The Dominicans, they got it real bad. They think they don't. We ain't black. Don't call us black. We Dominican.
Black as a motherfucker too.
Right. Just because you got the hair and the accent, that makes you different.
Some of them got the hair. Some of them got regular Negro hair.
But they really do, and you can go watch videos on it. But if they see you from the States or they see you Southern down there, you get treated. They got a problem with you, and they actually think we ain't black. We different. You know, we speak Spanish. First of all, was that the language you originally spoke? No, right. You spoke Hebrew.
We we different tribes. You know, we are different, but we still the same people.
Right.
You know, still Israelites. Right. So the so-called white man still hates us, just like he hates y'all. You know,
it's Sammy Sosa.
Right.
He got it bad.
That dude bugged out.
That nigga look like one of them hot niggas sauces. Boil it and turn white.
And yeah, but it's like, okay, you study history. You didn't speak Spanish at one point. They forced that upon you. Mm-hmm. They forced you to learn that language. Now they hold it as if there's like it's something like I get it as a part of your history, but they hold that with a badge of honor to say this is we're different. That's really because a lot of y'all think y'all so-called white. Because those women be trying to get with the Edomites because they think that's the next best thing is the damn Edomites. You know? And so they got it bad. All of them got it bad.
This is I'm gonna start at verse 9. This is Hosea 7 and verse 9. Strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not. Yea, great hairs are here, and there are upon him, yet he knoweth not. And the pride of Israel testifieth to his face, and they do not return to Yahweh, their power, nor seek him for all this. Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart. They call to Egypt, they go to Assyria. And when they shall go, I will spread my net upon them, and I will bring them down as the fowls of the heaven, and I will chastise them as their congregation have heard. Woe unto them, for they have fled from me, destruction unto them, because they have transgressed against me. Though I have redeemed them, yet they have spoken lies against me. And they have not cried unto me with their heart when they howled upon their beds They assembled themselves with corn and wine, and they rebelled against me. Though I have bound and strengthened their arms, yet do they imagine mischief against me? They return, but not to the Most High. They are like a deceitful bow. Their princes shall fall by the sword, for the rage of their tongue. This shall be their derision in the land of Egypt.
Right? And isn't it? Okay, it's not in that. I
The
know it's in the same
silly
chapter.
dove.
Yeah, but it's also when it says he's giving the idols,
Oh,
leave them alone. Yeah, silly dove. You see, they could be easily, you could say misled, but Ephraim represents the Puerto Ricans, but it is referring to the whole northern because they were the head of the northern when the split happened. So a lot of times the Lord is referring to Ephraim as northern, which means they're silly. They could easily just be duped, by the devil because they look up to him. So they actually want to join hands with Trump and say, yeah, Trump's doing a good thing for our country. We're happy. Thank you, Trump. Thank you, Trump.
Got it.
But how is it that everybody except you don't understand that they just want your damn oil? They just want control. But you the only stupid motherfuckers sitting there talking about some no, it needs to change. But everybody else in the world can see you just want to conquer that place for their oil. You don't actually care about what's going on. But you got a sect of Venezuelans so happy, right, that the Maduro has been dethroned, so to speak. Stupid. You
Yeah,
follow?
this is Hosea 4 and verse 17. And it says, let's start at 16. For Israel slides back as a backsliding heifer. Now Yahweh will feed them as lambs in a large place. 17. Ephraim is joined to idols, let him alone.
Right. And that's what if you was to go to Puerto Rico, guess what? You can look it up. They are Roman Catholics. You go to Mexico, Roman Catholics. The hell y'all Roman Catholics for? You know? But that's because they've been conquered and they look at Jesus as their God, Virgin Mary. Silly. They all got those idols in their houses too. Okay, I never been in there, but I heard nothing but stories. They all, especially even got all kind of idols in their house because they're very, religious, but they're silly. They actually they got their Roman Catholic ism in them. You know,
Yeah,
There's Mary candles burning and shit.
yeah, got the candles,
Shrine
got
set up.
all the idols in
Yeah.
there.
Lady of
The
Guadalupe.
motherfuckers had
They be on them cabs.
yeah,
Lady
like,
of Guadalupe.
yeah, which that goes back to the Queen of Heaven worship, and yeah, motherfuckers had the statues, and they was like putting money in her hand, and I didn't get a chance to ask them like what the hell does that mean, but I think as far as like if you put money there, you probably get something back or some shit like that.
Yeah, they
You know?
big into that. And that's why the Lord will bring judgment down there. But you all want to rejoice over the Maduro thing. You think he coming to help? Yeah, okay. What I said, Psalm 55. Right. I think it was verse 18, starting at 18.
This is the book of Psalms 55 and 18. He had delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. Yahweh shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old. Selah, because they have no changes, therefore they fear not Yahweh. He hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
And that's Esau Edom, the so-called white man. So you would think by now, especially Northern Kingdom would understand, you can't trust this man when he says he's out to make a deal. So he's sitting up here saying we want peace from the Venezuelans. Okay? Tazwan, can you give me a second? Corinthians 11 and 14, I believe. You can't believe you do realize because that's what happened when he sat up there and said I'm the they wanted me to be for peace. You can tell by how he speak. He try to have his head down. I don't want the job, but they want me to be the peace. They said I'm the guy that's going to bring the peace. I feel honored. That's a play, just like what he said with Venezuela. We want peace for Venezuela. We want to do this for the people. We want a good country. We want the people to go back. No, it's a bunch of bullshit. Everybody knows what you're really after. Okay, you just want complete control to seize the oil. That's it. Everybody knows that the so-called white man can't stand not having dominant hegemony on the earth. And he will go and steal and kill and bomb to maintain that hegemony. That's what it's all about. To maintain power. Everybody knows that. Even Vocab Malone. What's his deal? Oh, I don't like the fact that you guys aren't back in the Christian church. He wants you all back in the Christian church slapping each other, talking about some rebuking in the name of Jesus. That's what he wanted to see you at. He don't actually care about, because he'll say, oh, I care about you. No, you don't. Right? You don't care about us. You don't care about the Messiah. Because if you do, how come you got nothing to say against the so-called Jews or Judaism, which is the most anti-Christ religion there is, the most anti-Messiah religion there is Judaism. Right. Why you got nothing to say about them, but you gonna come after us? I want to try to save you. Now, once you got to try to save your brethren, the so-called Jews, because clearly that's set up to be destroyed, right? They deny the Messiah, but that's what it is. It's all about maintaining the so-called white supremacy, right? Either the Most High looks like us, or nobody knows what it looks like, or there ain't one. Yeah. Either we in charge, or there is no earth. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. I believe. Oh, you said you had something.
Okay. I got this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 5, and it reads, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." Right? Because as brother was just saying, this is a greedy man. He don't really care about nothing. He don't really care about anything except for having power and having you in subjection. As long as he has you in his control, that's all he really cares about. He'll say and do whatever he needs to do to deceive you, to get you to believe, you know what I'm saying, that he does care about you. But as long as you fall in line with whatever he wants, whatever Esau's agenda is, you know what I'm saying, then okay, you cool, right? Until you not. Until he's done with you, until he through with you and he throw you back to the wolves.
That's it. He will use the, can you find that in Sirach? I think it's chapter 14. Okay. He will use you till he gets what he wants, then he just kick you to the curb. That's how he got this land. That's how he tricked Gad, which that's prophetic in itself. Okay, can you get that? All right, so that Psalms,
look at the end of
Genesis 49.
Brother, what did you say?
I'm sorry, 2 Corinthians 11 and 13. We can go with your. Well, I'm sorry, you said.
That's how you get the end of too. This is
the end of too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 10.
Damn.
The thief comes not for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundant. Right, because that's all he go around to do is steal resources, kill the people, and destroy the land, man. That's it. If he's getting next to you, just know one of them three things or all three of them things is about to happen. He's about to steal something, about to kill something, about to fuck up something, man.
Right.
That's his whole history, man. That's his legacy.
Shit, since the beginning.
Since the beginning.
Because that's what they say in the Christian church. They say the devil came to kill, steal, and destroy, right?
Without knowing who the devil is.
Exactly. Who does that on the earth? Right. Esau does.
That's right.
They never connect the dots, man.
Over 500 treaties broken. What is that? Shouldn't you know better by now?
You can't trust that nigga.
But Ephraim is a silly dog, man.
Even when you read in the book of Maccabees, the devil broke his treaty, making peace with Israel, and he fell upon the city, man. So that's going to show you this devil will break whatever treaty he makes with you, showing that he's the original nigga.
Right. Or he gets you when you vulnerable. Because you had I forgot who it was. It might have been, matter of fact, yeah, it was Antiochus. It was his punk ass. He knew the Jews was keeping the Sabbath, so he's like, oh yeah, now it's the perfect time to kill them because they ain't gonna see this coming.
I got that.
I know I just told you didn't get something.
Yeah, you told me to get
Can you also have Maccabees 1? Yeah, can you also have Maccabees 1 and 29? That's just going on what you just said.
I got that, Sirach.
You got that, Sirach?
Okay. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 14, starting at verse 2. Actually, starting at verse 3, it says, riches are not comely for a niggard, and what should an envious man do with money? He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul, gathereth for others, that shall spend his goods riotously. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense for his wickedness. And if he do good, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness.
Right. And you know what? Can you go to chapter 13? Because that was what I was thinking, but that's the spirit. Chapter 13. You start from the top on that.
Okay. This is Sirach chapter 13, starting at verse 1. He that toucheth pith, he that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that hath fellowship with the proud man shall be like unto him. Burden not thyself above thy power while thou livest, and have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself. For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot together? For if the one be smitten against the other, it shall be broken.
That's a powerful verse right there. Yeah. Keep going.
The rich man have done wrong, and yet he threateneth withal. The poor is wrong, and he must entreat also. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee, but if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear, and will not be sorry for it. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee, and smile upon thee, and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair, and say, what wantest thou? And he will shame thee by his meats, until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice, and at the last he will laugh thee to scorn. Afterward, when he seeth thee, he will forsake thee, and shake his head at thee. Beware. Keep going.
That's you see, that's Esau Edom. You see, so he'll play the part, he'll deceive you because he wants something from you. Yeah, what you mean? Yeah, it's a good person. Yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that. Just like when Trump had Kanye, he sat down with Kanye. Yeah, Kanye's a good person, good person. Yeah. Just letting him talk, but really he just trying to win favor over the black community. That's all it is. Afterward, he don't give a fuck about no Kanye, you know. But that's what the devil does. If he needs something from you, he gonna play the part. Yeah. I'm your friend. I'm your friend. Until he get what he want, and then at the last, he gonna laugh at you. Like we mentioned, the end up too. You got duped too. Because what happened when he got in office? Kick him out, layoffs, fire. Yeah, black women. How could you just do that to family? They don't give a damn. They just needed you to ruin the family, and the damage is done. So you kick to the curb, like they actually wanted you.
How many
Like you.
black women lost their job? When they're like, over 300-something thousand?
300,000.
Yeah.
So much so they feel singled out. That's what happens when you trust the devil.
Right.
You took upon this dainty meats, and it was to hurt you in the end. Those little benefits of having that career position, all that, the whole time they're like, man, get these women out of here.
It was all to boost their pride up.
Yeah.
And forsake they, man. Now look, whoa, who's protecting black women?
Right.
You were thinking about that when you were shitting on them.
Right.
Because they just making sure, yeah, we'll give you these jobs and these positions, but you better not be using it to help the man.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna make sure of that. Okay, so and they put women in those positions on purpose because they know it's gonna be hell on earth for the man. But like now, put a black woman over there, give them now it's about to catch hell. We'll pay them to make their lives miserable.
Right.
That's why you're known as like their pit bull. Yeah. But once they done with you, kick to the curb.
Yeah, right. Shit. I was just finna say, hey, they put your ass to sleep.
They'll treat a real pit bull better than you. And even with Kamala Harris, which she's an Edomite as well. What was she doing with her campaign? She bringing up Megan Thee Stallion, got her up on stage twerking and everything like that, not offering you any real benefits or nothing, but she's just trying to appeal. You know, she's trying to be in the sisterhood, talking about some bitch. What she say? She put hot sauce on what?
Collard greens.
On collard greens and shit. She washed her greens in the bathtub and and all that dumbass shit.
Like shit. Man, So-called black people don't even do no shit like that.
Photoshop that damn 1993 picture. Her grandma, like, bitch, your grandma was dead when
Yeah.
man, get the hell out of here.
Either Edomite or Elamite.
Them shit Elamite.
Talking
Yeah.
about
Well,
talking
her
about
mama Elamite, but I think her daddy is.
Yeah,
he's
but
one of
like
them.
on her dad's side, she got an Edomite grandfather.
She definitely ain't no damn Jake.
That had a plantation too, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
From
black women is fucking
Jamaica.
sense, man.
in Jamaica. Yeah.
talking about I was listening to Tupac in 1982.
Smoking weed, you just
You a horrible actor. Sorry, Tazwell.
You said 2 Corinthians 11 and 13.
Right.
The book of 2 Corinthians 11 and 13, it says, "For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Mashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light."
Yeah, exactly. What does that mean? That means these devils know how to play part of his. The same thing you learn is that Satan is always trying to imitate the righteous. The so-called Jews try to imitate the right, but they know they can't. And you know, a lot of them actually try to, but they just can't because they're the vessels of dishonor. They'll go and get married and have a wife, but then they fighting their urge. They see a little boy, they fighting their urge. They see a little girl, they fighting their urge. That's why every time you figure out some sick trafficking ring, they're always at the center of it. They can't help it. It's always the rabbi. It's a rabbi that runs Pornhub. Okay, it's always the rabbi that's responsible for the most degenerate, what's the word? Degenerate acts and debauchery. They're always because they can't help it.
It's already in them.
silly, man.
You know, precept.
One more verse.
Oh, okay.
Verse 15, "Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness.
Look at that.
Yeah, whose end shall be according to their works."
So that's not. So don't be surprised, because that's what the devil. He knows how to imitate the righteous. They secretly all want to anyway. You know, even like Ben Stiller said. He said every Jew wishes they were black. Yeah, I'm sure. Why is that? Because you know the real Jews are black. You try to be like us. You try to be funny like us, but you fall flat on your face. You know, every time you try to imitate the righteous, because that's what they do. But that's exactly what Trump did. So the scripture says, don't marvel that now, because even Satan's ministers are now the children of light. Like we looked at them devils' faces, the continents at the class, like JD Vance, that man looked like the damn serpent. He literally looked like that thing from off Prometheus. Okay, the engineers, yeah, with the black eyes and shit. And then who else we looked up?
Donald Trump.
What was that one that Jay Wish bitch from who said that young Jake Men is the biggest threat to the nation state of Israel?
Yeah, we looked up her. We also looked up somebody else. Looked up the little the Department of War or something. Jewish.
Yeah, Hexab, yeah.
You look at them, man. Like you just type in JD Vance, that man looked like a dang snake, man. He look like he's disguised. But guess what? They're the ones in the rulership positions.
Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, they're the ones that's gonna lead for peace, right? Oh, you also got Mark Zuckerberg. He looked like an alien.
Yeah.
Okay, but they all
they all subhuman, man.
Right.
Bill Gates.
Esau Edom is not a man. He's a subhuman. He's mankind.
Beast.
And what's the dude named Buzz? The dude that did the one small step for man.
Aldrin.
Yeah, I knew that. I thought that was it, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, he said.
I was gonna say the same thing. Right?
He said one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. Like basically saying that mankind, Edomites, are over the original man, which are the Israelites.
Right.
You know, which we already know that whole moon landing was a damn cinema anyway.
I was gonna add to that. Like every time, like some destruction, plastic in the oceans and stuff. You watching these documentaries with the animals and stuff. They always want to say the human race. Hey, Jake is not going around doing that, man. It's a specific group of people doing that shit, man. You know, Jake don't have a fucking party yacht and be throwing Don Julio and whoever drinks you Edomites be drinking. Jake don't be doing that, man. Only you Edomites got the ability to travel to different parts of the world to do that.
To fuck it up.
To fuck it up.
And on the contrary, though, Jake will come with a solution to fix y'all bullshit, and y'all will demonize him or try to take him out, or you know, try to crush the process like y'all did Moses West when he came up with the ionizing pulling air out the water out the earth to create fresh drinking water. Y'all sabotaged his creation.
Yeah.
Just like y'all got the guy who's making that plastiline out of the fucking plastic waste, man. That's a Jake that's cleaning you motherfucking shit up, man. But y'all want to demonize Jakes like we just the lowest of the low, we the problem of the earth. It's y'all ass, man.
And they try and do away with them quietly because, like, you can't demonize him and say, oh, well, look, he's an evil person. He's trying to do this and do that. Nah, this nigga making gasoline from plastic.
Yeah.
He just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they try and take a nigga out quietly.
Right.
And then to come up, oh, he died in a car crash or he died of a brain aneurysm or something like that.
And then
you know?
take his idea years later, you know. So this is this devil here, you know, like Bill Gates or one of these devils said, oh, we got to handle these cows because they are causing too much pollution. Animals, by nature, they lit off gas. You know, you got these fucking trucks, cars causing more problems, and you got planes up there, but yet the cows are the problem.
He could fart all goddamn day and it's cool.
And to speak on that, because, you know, that's the gates of hell, AI is more of a detriment to the ecosystem than the fucking cows that you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? AI using up all the water, all the damn electricity, all the natural resources that they got to do to make the chips and the computer program and all that stuff to get it to work and all that. That's using more of the Earth's resources and being more of a detriment than a fucking cow farting.
And
you know,
it put out.
Yeah.
These factories, that shit take up a lot of space, and it's not good for the earth.
Yeah.
And the people that live directly around those places, man, they suffer.
Like Bridgeton, for example, they got that waste over there. Every time you drive on 270, you always smell that waste, which that's sulfur, you know, and that's poisonous to the human body. And it's funny that they got a hospital right in the same area too, so they know what they doing, man.
Yeah, they got just like that video about the those data centers, the family. They can't even get water. It sabotaged their water system. All that couldn't have been me. Okay, you do that shit in my area, and I ain't got no water now. I'm going to apply for a janitor, and I'm lighting the fucking match. You know what I'm saying? And then they just okay with it. But it's like, where's the outcry? And it's all in the name of control. If people wondering why your electricity bill went up, it's because they already made a deal. We're gonna run these data centers, and y'all gonna pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? And they seeing, like, they already did the math, right? It's using more water and energy than humans itself use, right? Just to run. But it's because they want to be like the Most High. They want to control. They want 24-hour surveillance because the Most High, they're trying to mimic the Most High. They want to at all times monitor everything that's being said worldwide. So they're not going to stop. They're not going to say this is not beneficial. This is not economically sound. This ain't it. Because even those electric cars, that ain't it either. Okay, that's causing more energy and all that. And then come to find out, most of those electrical charging stations are run off a damn generator.
Yeah, for diesel generator.
Yeah, a diesel generator. So it's like, what the fuck? But it's all about, we got to push because we need control, you know?
Yeah.
But it's failing right in front of them.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, man.
This is Proverbs 16:1. The preparation of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All the ways of man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirits. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination unto the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. Right? And this goes into the wicked, you know, because That literally just sums up the so-called white man in a nutshell. You know, because the Lord made him wicked. The things that he's doing is literally against life and destroying everything and everyone on it. But since the Lord made him like that, he's literally only, the so-called white man is programmed to do that stuff because he's the wicked. You know? But yeah, he said, though hand join in hand, you should not be unpunished. So all these people that want to join this whole agenda, this NWO that's about to get ready and fail. All right, you're gonna be punished right along with the damn devil. Okay, because hey, the devil's fate is him being eradicated off the earth. All right, that's what his fate is. But you people act like you more scared of the damn devil than you are the Most High. Like, and make that make sense. Like, how the hell you gonna be more scared of a creation that the Most High made? It makes no sense, man.
First Thessalonians.
Yeah.
Give me Sirach 19, second to last verse. Yes.
Book of First Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 1, and it reads, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child."
So the prophecy says, watch out when they start to say peace and safety. And Trump is standing up here talking about he's the president of peace. He was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. He's the one set up to orchestrate the peace, what they call it, world peace. That's what Trump set up to do, which he's just a puppet. Okay? Y'all act like he making his own decision. He's just a puppet. All right?
And which is an oxymoron, because how you gonna be the president of peace, but then create the Department of War?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why the scriptures say they'll say peace, but they draw swords.
Right.
That's how you know there's something about them Edomites, because at the end of the day, that's all they know. Because they can't, it's
They
just,
blessing.
yeah, that's they blessing.
Right.
And they can't help it. It's just like Haman. Haman today, vocab, all that. Even though he act like, oh, I'm this diplomatic person, I'm a preacher and all that. At the end of the day, you resort to wrath because you know you can't win when it comes to the scriptures. And in the end, you're going to revert back to what you normally do as an Edomite, which is steal, kill, destroy, lie, steal. Because like he did that video with Captain Zariak, but Captain Zariak stumped him on that one scripture in Isaiah. So he felt so embarrassed, he gonna flag the video to get it taken down. You coward, But that's how he is. He tries to act like, oh yeah, I'm coming at you. Wait a minute, explain Isaiah 60 where it says we're gonna have the heathen doing all of our work for us. Well, you're not an Israelite, so it doesn't matter. He like, oh, see, that's just you deflecting. He got so mad, I'm gonna flag the video, get it taken down. What a coward. But that's how he is. He wants to act like, yeah, I'll go back and forth with you, but when he lose, I'll push the damn buttons. God damn it. That's Esau. He gonna always resort to that because that's all he knows. But he's trying to act like I'm holy. But once he realizes that you lose, or okay, you say you want to debate honestly or whatever, you lost fair and square. He says, well, if I lose, that means we everybody about to die.
It's like they eat about with their damn Madden game, man.
Yeah, a so-called Jew.
Yeah.
Lost.
Got his ass whooped by Jake.
Yeah.
And then went and killed how many killed? Like two?
He killed the guy, then shot up, and then shot himself.
Yeah.
It's a Madden tournament, but you can look at him and tell that dude got demons on him.
Yeah. Like, hey, they was even sending on the video, like, while he's playing the game, his blank stare and shit like that. You know?
They was interviewing him, so he's like, I'm one of the better players. I don't know. They're like, yeah, well, you got 30. I'm one of the better players. So he couldn't accept being second or whatever, or losing.
Yeah.
But he lost. You think all right, good game, see you later. No, you got to watch your back. You got to remember, this damn devil. He don't like to take losses. He went to his car, got a gun. And they saw the he had the beam on the guy in his chest. Pop, 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 pop. Wow. Off himself. All because you fucking lost. But that's the devil. You can't trust him. He ain't gonna just roll over and lose like that. He's just so a loser.
I think that was what the movie was. I think it was either Above the Rim or I can't remember. I know it was Tupac played in it, but yeah, what where they lost at the
Yeah,
end.
Washington. Yeah.
Nah, there was an up in New York at Rucker Park, I think, and it was like a tournament or something like that, and they lost it. I can't remember his name. The Jake who played in that movie is another Jake. But yeah, they lost the game, and then Jake want to pull out a gun and try and shoot everybody.
Oh yeah. You probably talking about White Man Can't Jump.
That happened in that movie too.
Yeah, it happened in that one too. But it was I think the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, Above the Rim.
Okay, that happened to that too. You hustle me. I think you hustle me. Oh no, I'm about to shoot everybody. Everybody like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Finna go to the truck.
Okay, so you read that piece of safety. He gave me second. Yeah, he gave me second. Second edge of 16. I think it was 21. I had Judah. Go ahead and read your. You have
Second Thessalonians.
Start at 7. Yeah.
You said start at 7. This is the book of Second Thessalonians, chapter 2, and verse 7. And it reads, it says, "For the mystery of iniquity does already work, for only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved."
So that's how the devil operates: deception, deceivableness. So no, when I saw that, I didn't just jump up like the people in the world. Trump a bad dude, man. He done went down there and took that. Man, that's all deception. Okay? All deception. All right? It's something called controlled opposition. And then the people figuring out, they're like, this nigga look just like Saddam Hussein.
Right.
Who never existed, for the record. So everybody's pointing out, and everybody's always linking back to who? The so-called Jew. Why? Because the vice president of Venezuela said if she ever became president, her first order of business is to move the embassy of Venezuela to Jerusalem. Basically, she gonna bow. You know what I mean? So when Trump says we want peace for the Venezuelans, we want the right person in office. I mean, before that means who's ever gonna be another puppet to do the bidding of the so-called Jews. That's what this is all about. But you stupid Asherites and you stupid Naphtalians. Ooh, yeah, Trump for us. Yeah, ooh. I'm so glad he cares about our country. Sure. It says when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming about. Okay? He wants you solely to bow to him. And that should also tell you something else. Why can't he just mind his own fucking business? Right? Why? What these countries got to do with, it's because you have access to oil. You have the largest oil reserves. Now all of a sudden we care about what's going on down here. That's a bunch of bullshit. Okay? How about you just leave people alone? Why can't you couldn't leave Cuba alone? Right? No, we gotta seize it all for ourselves. You know? But but every time somebody steps up and say, you know what, I think we need our own currency. We want to work out our own deals. Thank you, America, for this, that, but we good. No. Esau gonna say, oh hell no. I'm coming to talk. You know?
Didn't the Bushes have an oil company down there in Venezuela?
Pretty sure.
Piazza Oil thing.
Pretty sure. And it's all a front. This is how he acts. Like he just said the other day, if Iran threatens to hurt the peaceful protesters, we're gonna come talk to them. Meaning they're gonna go over there. It's all they've been wanting to go over there to Iran in the first place.
Go over there with guns.
That's what it all boils down to: control. But what he's gonna say? Oh, if they're hurting the peaceful protesters, we're gonna come over there. We're gonna do something. So when they do launch an attack, he told them not to hurt the peaceful protesters. You know. But remember, he's the leader of world peace. Remember, This is the guy trying to achieve peace. The scripture says you got to watch out for that. Because while he's trying to achieve peace, it really means he's about to bring war.
And if
That's the devil.
they probably cut a back end deal with Maduro, you know, probably like, hey, look.
And they walked him out the back.
Yeah, they like, we can do you like Gaddafi, or you can go along with these theatrics.
Walked you out the back, you know? But it's just to show, yeah, you don't want to mess with us. Yeah. But you even got Edomites. That's some bullshit. That's how you know he's losing his power when everybody is calling it a psyop or the small hats has something to do with it. This is about you lost your power. But what he's trying to do is make it seem like we care about the people. But even the American people, the Edomites, is like, no, this is a lie. You're just a puppet, and this is just a distraction. The Epstein files. You guys ain't gonna ever get away with that. They ain't letting you go on that.
It just makes me question what is an act of war,
Right.
right? So if you go into another land and you violate all types of different acts, let's say if somebody came over here and went over there to Washington D.C. and snatched up 2 people, wouldn't that be an act of war?
Right.
Can you go to any other country internationally, go snatch their king? Right. Wouldn't that be an act of war?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
With military, with a
Right.
military operation, the guns and all that shit. Like,
Right. That's basically kidnapping.
Yeah. I mean, it's an act of war when you take their leader, is it not?
Right. Yep. That's what the world said. And that's why a lot of the Edomites, especially the communists, they're mad because they want peace in the world, but Trump's doing this, right? And he's doing it all without Congress, because technically you can't do that without Congress. But he's doing it on his own. So that's making a lot of other Edomites mad. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? That's why a lot of them are mad. They're like, no, this ain't got nothing to do with the people. You basically trying to start a war. And you don't want people to be on their own and you just want them to bow to the small hats. Oh yeah, he's the man for the job.
and for him acting without Congress, that probably make people think, well, shit, what else can he do without going to Congress about?
Yeah, man. You had 2, right?
Yeah, you had me get Genesis 49.
Yeah.
This is Genesis 49 and verse 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
Which is prophetic. Jacob prophesied that's gonna happen to Gad. Okay, he was overcome, but he gonna overcome at the last. You know, but that just goes to show you, in the sense, how naive our people can be, especially Northern Kingdom, because they just still want to keep believing. Well, he said this time that they was gonna respect our boundaries, and then he'll break it.
Sure.
Over 500 times. Just like I remember, the little opening for The Simpsons, the little 4 presidents' faces on the earth, rock. I think it's called Black Hills or something like that. Before that was that, the story behind that is called the Cellar Starve Act. In fact, you can look that up. The Cellar Starve Act, yeah. It was that area where
that's Mount Rushmore.
I believe that. Where they said it would belong to Gad, but once Esau saw, they didn't willfully sell anything, they forced them to sell it. But guess what? If you was to go, I'm sure, go see the place, the devils would say, yep, they made a deal with the Native American Indians. And no, you didn't. You forced that up off them. It's called the Cellar Starve Act, but that's how the devil get down. First, we make a deal. This is all your land. We won't touch it. But then they say, wait a minute. That's some good land. We're going to change the rules. We change it. And you did that over 500 times, man. And he going to keep using that same playbook because that's all he knows, deception. So everything he does, everybody knows that's a damn lie. You really don't want people to have their own sovereign land and peace. You really don't. You just want control. That's what this is all about. Oh, we would need to censor the internet for the kids. This ain't got nothing to do with the kids. You just want to censor people from telling the truth.
Right. Because if they really wanted to protect children, they'll shut their Roblox shit down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. You got pedos on there, and you got a few accounts of these people who go on there to expose them and get them caught. The guy who owned Roblox banned those people account, not the pedos shit.
It's a thing I seen the other day where it's like an ad. You know how like where like I forgot what that talc powder or whatever. Like a lawyer get a lawsuit and they try, this is something like that. It's like, has your child ever been harmed through the Roblox app by being assaulted, essayed, and all of that stuff, right? So,
Yeah, and then it's coming out that a lot of those people, pedophiles, they be showing up to the child's house. And the parents be confused, like, who the fuck are you? You know, they be like, I'm friends with such and such, and I'll be like, dude, you gotta be a bold motherfucker. That's weird, man.
bold motherfucker.
PDF files, and more than likely,
I'd be like, hold on.
Right.
Say hello to my little friend.
more than likely, they a small hat, like the one Edomites that hunted down that one small hat. You know, they can't help it. It's always a damn small hat. They can't help it. They got a thing for kids.
See the one video
It's
where
already in them.
they tracked down this one in the store.
Yeah.
And they fucking one lifted him up and the other one stole him. That shit was so motherfucking like.
They got a whole they got a whole like department, right, trying to catch PDF files, but the common sense is if they really wanted to catch them, they would, but the reason they ain't gonna catch them is because your people in high places, they're PDF files. That's why they're not gonna move to shut nothing down, because the person running it is a PDF file.
Exactly. And I looked at I asked my son, I said, who the fuck made this game? I don't understand it. He went right on there. This is the guy that made it. I said, oh yeah, this motherfucker is fucked up. He's a fucking fan. He's a weirdo.
Why do you allow Quran hubs in your country if it's so detrimental to the people?
Right. Why? You said Quran hub. Shit. OnlyFans too.
Some of the biggest stars or names in there is them small hats.
That's right.
Women.
Yeah,
But they'll get a Jake to do that shit. And I'm like, Jake, man, y'all.
The Quran hub's owned by a rabbi.
Yeah, kind of.
Just a bunch of nasty people.
Why, if addiction is such a problem, why do you allow casinos to do what they do? Whereas, this is Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go in, you go in there, and they'll say, we got booklets and stuff if you need help gambling and all. Well, how about deal with the problem? But that's how it works. This is Babylon. Everything's a profit. There's no profit in no crime. There's no profit in people being not sick. There's no profit in any of that. So we need to allow that so there could be profit.
Continuous game.
Yeah, the other one, right? The Maccabees.
First Maccabees.
Yeah, I think it's first.
30. Yeah. This is First Maccabees 1 and 30. It reads, and spake peaceable.
329.
Yeah, 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chiefs, collectors of tribute, unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sore, and destroyed a much people of Israel.
Right, because he said what? Spake peaceable words. But once they gave him credence, meaning they lowered their guard, he came with the sword. So this is why you don't trust anything this devil says. You should question it. Okay? You should always question anything this devil puts out, even if it's true. They say if you hear something bizarre, I don't question it. I don't trust it. But then you say, oh, okay, it happened, that's fine. But because it came from you, I don't fucking trust it. You shouldn't trust anything this devil say. When he said he want peace, everybody should know baloney. You don't want peace. You want control. You just try to distract. You got to make it seem like you did something noble. Because you got too much negative press, especially about the Epstein files. So let's try to earn a win for the Trump.
Right.
Yeah, look at what I did. I did that. I'm the peace guy. I did that. Okay, while most people are like, no, not buying it. Where is the resistance? And the second of all, this is stupid, right? Not buying it. So you gotta question everything this devil says, does. And because in the midst of all this, he's saying peace. And we know what the scriptures say about that. I know it's a devil.
It's 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking who he may devour. Right? So you got to be sober, be vigilant. You know. And now you got a bunch of jakes that's basically going back into the world. You know, I'm worried about my job. You know, I got to take three weeks off from doing the work to get more money. Like, bro, this society is about to get ready to fall. You know, it's what, like $50 trillion in debt. You know, so this economy is done, bro. You know, so you have to keep your eyes single on the prize. You know, and what's that? That's the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, but just remember, somebody put out the little tweet. I don't know what happened, but they went down all the lists of everything that Trump did since he's been in office. Like for one, he bombed Nigeria on the 25th, so-called Christmas. But they're like, wait a minute, this is the peace president, and they went down all the lists of how many bombs he done dropped and how many countries he done invaded. But remember, he's the peace president. Okay,
Right.
so you know what the scriptures say when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. All right, Satan transformed his ministers into the ministers of light and his ministers.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned those names, right? J.D. Vance, you got that other guy who's leading the Department of War. Okay.
Right. You had those Edomites that went out on the street telling some white man fight back, white man fight back. I'm like, dude, y'all the oppressors. You even had that Sicilian looking Jake that was all like, man, like everything is owned by white people. So how you are a victim?
Right.
You know?
What are you fighting back from? You know,
Right.
you the one that's fighting everybody.
Right.
Fight back the resistance.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, yeah, they're resistance, you know. They're being evil.
It's like these other countries got nuclear capability now, man. You know, so now the bully about to get punched in his face, man. You know, that's why, like, you know,
Bully about to get jumped.
yeah, bully about to get jumped. You know, by these weaker nations that the United States deemed as weak. But hey, as the scriptures say, you know, about God should be a guard to them. Hey, God got been giving them nuclear weapons. Like, hey, here go nuclear weapons for each one of y'all, just in case the United States tries to shoot each other.
It was so crazy. I was in the gas station one day up there outside there, and those triplets that woke up in there. It's like, man, fuck Trump, man. It's like, man, he's in everybody's business. Man. I was like, yeah, man, they go around thinking they the police of the world. Whole time they all home front fucked up. Yeah. And they doing shit that they trying to police other people, you know, which really just trying to steal their resources. So he's everybody is finding him out to be the problem. His military, he can't really get enough morale behind his military.
Yeah, you
Shut your ass up.
You had she said Jesus Christ is the Son of God, God raised him for the dead. You know. But yeah, you had that one soldier that basically lit himself on fire.
Yeah.
They never talked about it.
Yeah. Because he was basically saying like, I don't even want to be a part of this because, you know, like this is wrong. That's when they was going into Iran. You know what I'm saying?
They never said anything about him either. Because he said what? Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
That's the highest form of protest a man could do. Light himself on fire.
Right.
And I'm against this. Yeah. And I ain't sure. I think I shared it, but Esau's so damn weak, man. They got this so-called trend that them trying to show they tough, They punching themselves. Bring the war. So weak.
Oh, they got Jake's doing that.
Oh man.
Oh man,
It's,
look, I've been ready. I've been ready for them to try to declare war. They all dancing. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
y'all
with the-
prophecy, you niggas wouldn't be laughing and hee and shit.
Jake made that diss song.
Yeah.
And it's they're the stupid. You the stupidest motherfuckers, man.
Right.
Jakes, you so stupid.
Like,
You must not know what we did to Sodom and
Right.
Gomorrah. Nigga, you
Yeah.
stupid.
like y'all niggas gonna be the first on the front line.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be the sacrifice.
Like the brother said, like you niggas read prophecy, America doesn't win the war,
Right.
You know, because America's gonna get taken out the way, and all these other nations gonna be taken out the way by Yahweh Shai. You know, so
Just look at the American military, man. That shit
got
is,
women in
man,
there.
Come on, man.
It's got
And
women
trannies
in Mo's.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, come on, man.
That's
That
what I
shit is
think
over
part
with,
of this
man.
whole Maduro is to show, yeah, we some bad dudes. Y'all motherfuckers are some pussies.
They got
Yeah.
stress cars in basic training now.
yeah, dog over there
You hurt my feelings. I
training
need a
for
break.
real, China training for real, and United States over here had that shitty ass military parade, man. Nigga holding the drone going through the street, man.
They don't
Nobody
even do
takes
Wi-Fi
America
no
serious
more.
no more.
See, I know somebody in the Navy, and I asked them what y'all do in this winter. They basically like, what you mean? I'm like, y'all don't work outside? No, it's too cold. I said, man, I'm fucking Russian. Like, okay, but if you go to fucking Russia, come on, man. You know they out there in the damn cold.
Wrestling up birds and shit.
Them motherfuckers are like, man, Great Lakes was cold enough.
Right. niggas out
I
there,
ain't never going back.
the Russian Edomites out there hunting tigers, you know what I'm saying, punching tree bark.
Man, you see them wrestling that bird and shit? Like,
Yeah.
they be wrestling them motherfuckers like when they growing up, but it's still a bird though. Like, and they out there cold with shorts on and a t-shirt. Like,
Right.
They take ice baths.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember that one Edomite that you put in the chat? This motherfucker was in his drawers in Antarctica. It was like it was like negative 66. He was on, man, I could never, man.
It's a whole different game, man.
Like damn, and that just lets you know like how much stress you can put on the human body. You know, you can damn near train the human body, damn near endure anything.
And it's like, you niggas must not remember seeing them movies about D-Day. Like, you just look at that shit alone, this is gonna be 10 times worse than that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Talking about hop off the boat. Wow, it's over for you.
Yeah, that beach seems crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they got these drones now where they unmanned, they just fly right to you and blow your ass up now.
Oh, they got so
Nobody got
much
to shoot a
drone.
gun at you no more.
Right. Yeah, they got radio controlled ships.
Mhm.
You know, like the from Call of Duty, the AC-130. That's a remote controlled ship.
But look,
You know.
over there in Ukraine, they not even fighting a fair war no more. They just sending them drones to blow a nigga up now. So what you think gonna happen to you niggas in World War III?
I would love to talk to one of these stupid ass niggas that think they. I would just say, like you boasting in war? What war? What does it have to do with you? What's the war for? Do you know why they fighting? Say you just doing the bidding of the devil, you dumbass, and you're gonna be used. But you're so stupid, you want to believe that you're doing something noble, which you're not. Okay? Because if I was to ask you, what's the war all about? Right? Well, Iran doing it. Iran, they've been defending themselves. That's all they're doing.
Freeze don't know our freedoms.
And the thing-
We trying to stay free.
and the thing is, these niggas don't even think they doing nothing over. That nigga there, because he just want a Hellcat.
Yeah. He want a Hellcat, travel, and probably get him a Asian wife or something like that.
But when you talk to the foreigners, I know when I did, they was like, man, what y'all joining the military for, man? Why y'all in the white man military, man? The beef ain't with you. Beef ain't with the black man. I was like, So that started my research. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this shit. You ain't gonna use me to steal, motherfucker.
Right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21. And it reads, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
You see it? When victuals be so good, hey, like the brothers are saying, you know what they might end up doing? Because I think there's probably some news about it now. But this might affect oil prices, right? They might skyrocket or whatever. It might skyrocket, it might even go down. who knows, right? All that can just be used to say, hey, look at what I did. Me, Trump, I reduced the gold prices. This is what I'm willing to do. You know, because the scripture tell you before the evil is going to be the presumption that there's peace, there's safety, that victories are so good, cheap. But then it said what? Sudden destruction, then famines. So if anything, this is when your senses should be heightened, not relaxed. So you got the Venezuelans, which those, like I said, the Naphtalites and Asherites, thinking that it's about to be some change for your country. No, it's about to be even more hell. Because even Ronald Reagan said the 9 words that nobody want to hear is, "I'm from America and I'm here to help."
Sure.
Okay, so everybody knows the moment somebody talking about, "I'm coming to help, we want peace," all that, it's about to be some hell, especially now. And now that we have the truth, we definitely know what this is all about. Okay, it's about to be evils on the earth. Right? Remember, he's the president of peace. That's what they're pressing him up as. So everything he does, all these psyops, is to press him up as the peace guy, the leader of world peace. Because it's all about what? Iran. We should break that down. Like he give me Ezekiel 38. The reason I ain't really sweating too much, I don't even sweat China. You don't know why? It's because scripture tell you, Esau and Moab always had an agreement. And Esau needs Moab to make those chips. That's why out of all the things that Donald Trump had put the what's those taxes called? I forgot. The tariffs. The chips work, right? Because he was like, we still need them to make our chips, right? And also, over there is already basically a dictatorship. They got like what, 1 million cameras,
Oh man.
all that. So they work hand in hand. So even though they might talk their shit, according to prophecy, China's really not that. That's going to lead to war and it's all about God, Russia, Persia, Turkey. Those the main hitters right there. So I don't really too much care when China say, yeah, they've been saying shit for the longest. End of the day, they got an agreement. Go back to Revelation 18. That's how they get rich off of it, right? End of the day, they still work together to keep you out of their luxurious apartments and stuff like that. They still work, so it ain't like they beef with each other. But every now and then, Esau will be a devil to a Moabite because he's the damn devil. Okay. Did you had that?
I also got something else to go back to what you were talking about, how deceitful this man is. I looked up through AI overview. Well, first, matter of fact, let me go ahead and read you a scripture. This is Sirach 19 and
29 seconds of last.
Yeah, I started 25 on there is an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust. There's one that turneth aside to make judgment appear. There is a wise man that justifieth in judgment. There is a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly, but inwardly he is full of deceit, casting down his countenance, and making as if he heard not. Where he is not known, he will do thee a mischief before thou be aware. And that's Esau Edom for sure. Now I wanted to go back to something that the brother brought out about those treaties. And so if you do a quick search and you see AI overview, it has U.S. government broke nearly all, I don't know what they mean by nearly, they broke all 370 plus treaties. I thought it was more like 600 treaties it made with Native American tribes between 1778 and 1871. So there's probably more before that time period and after that time period. Because once Esau starts doing it, he don't stop.
Right.
With historians agreeing that most, if not all, were violated for what? Land, resources, and expansion, leading to significant loss of native lands and sovereignty. With examples including the California treaties and the Indian Removal Act, even as native peoples continue to fight for their treaty rights today, and you still see that today. Uh, Dad is still fighting for certain rights. Now, of course, we all know the history of $5 Indian, their descendants, and so on and so forth, claiming shit that which they really Edomites and they're not even Native American anyway. But you got that also in the Hawaiian Islands, right? Even with the Japhites, who call the so-called, who call the white man Esau Edom, so-called white man, Howley. That's his name in the islands. They want him out of there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So this devil has been a devil to the whole planet, and everywhere he goes, as we've mentioned many times before, he just brings death. He just brings confusion. He's a liar and a vagabond.
I remember I did a video maybe 2 years ago on the Japhites, how they were strong warrior build, masculine men. Then now with Esau being over there, now you see them in coconut bras and the parade, straw skirts and shit, ponytails in their head. I'm like, what the hell? Like everywhere, like you said, but that brought that to my remembrance. Everywhere this man go, there's some confusion, some bullshit, death, destruction, you know.
Like on the rest of that. Oh, did you find that?
Yeah, I got that too.
You want to read it to the end?
Yeah, but please.
Verse 28, it says, "And if for want of power he be hindered from sinning, yet when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil. A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance. When thou meetest him, a man's attire and excessive laughter and gait show what he is."
Right. So like we talked about those names, like JD Van literally looked like the snake. Mark Zuckerberg looked like a damn alien. The Gates of Hell, and even Elon Musk, that dude looked like a damn robot. But mind you, all these people are in the position of power. Trump looked like a damn eagle. Okay. All these
like Komodo dragon.
Yeah, all these people are in the position of power, and their countenance show something wrong with them. They're a demon, they're a devil, and they're all in the position of power, which means it's about to get rough out here for these people. It's even on their damn face, okay? It's on their countenance. Benjamin Satan, not a real Jew, look like a damn monster, okay?
See how angry he get when he's talking? Where are the real people?
Right, yeah, because he know that the Israelites is out there saying that they not the real.
Right.
And bringing out the facts.
That's right. So they can't control the narrative no more. It's a bullshit. Because since the Most High made the internet, that was created by a chick from Nigeria. These devils they can't hide who they are. They can't hide about the information like who everybody else is.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, they can't deny the fact that so-called UFOs exist. And I mean, like literally everything is coming out. Like all their lies. They had that shit on Unsolved Mysteries. I remember watching that shit when I was a kid. Like, oh yeah, Area 51, it was a unknown spacecraft that crashed and all this other bullshit. I'm like, oh shit, And nah, bro.
We know they wouldn't crash.
Right. Chariots don't crash, and another thing is that quote unquote extraterrestrials went into the White House to talk to. Yeah, hell nah, man. Yeah, hey, the angels are gonna talk to you, bastards. All right.
So you got to ask yourself, well, what is Area 51 actually? What are they really doing over there? Because that whole UFO alien stuff, that's just ploy then.
Yeah, they probably fucking redeemed.
Right.
That's what they probably doing.
So that was what?
Fucking demons, probably.
Ah, yeah.
Interacting with them.
Y'all gotta reset. This is more to the brother's point about the treaties they broke. This is Micah chapter 2, starting at the first verse. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hands. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Okay, so talking about all these treaties, they take the land, and even to the point where they imitate or try to be like the Israelites. Okay, they practice our culture. Okay, they take away our names and call us other names like Native Americans. That's not our real name. That's not the real name. The Gadites. So that's their real nationality. Okay.
We call them savages.
Right.
Even to Redskins.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And they go to football games as an excuse to dress up like a native.
Right.
They want to be, but they talk shit on you at the same time.
Right. And even like you said, how they try to imitate our customs, but then they even fuck that up. When you prophesy, you uncover your crown, they put a little fucking cap on top of that motherfucker. Passover come, you eat unleavened bread, they eat leavened bread.
Yeah, even with them in the sports world, they know that the Israelites was in this land because, just like we talked about the Gadites and the Reubenites, when you look at the original mascot logo of Florida State University, it's dark skin. And when you look at what used to be called the Washington Redskins, then you got the Cleveland Indians, then you got the Atlanta Braves. So they know exactly whose land this was, and they could throw it in people's faces, but you could never catch on. And they were mocking the Israelites, who were here.
Just like with hockey,
Right.
Dad was really good at
Same
hockey.
thing. Yep.
Even you do a lot of history. It all goes back to in some way either some evil done to us or we were the originators of such. Did you find that?
God. This is the AI overview of the Seller-Starve Act. It says the Seller-Starve Act is the name given by Lakota Sioux to a provision in the 1876 Indian Appropriations Act, followed by the Act of 1877, through which the U.S. Congress forced the Sioux Nation to cede the Black Hills and surrounding territories. The U.S. government achieved this by withholding essential treaty guaranteed food and supply rations, thereby coercing the tribes into compliance.
Right, and that's a summary, and that's because they wanted that land because after they agreed that land would be theirs, right, for the Lakotas, right. Once they realized that it was rich in like gold and whatnot, there was one devil that was like, well, we got to change this rule because we can't let them just have that. So they was like, okay, well, let's ask them if they want to sell it. But they kept saying, no, we'll give you this. It was like, no, all right, we'll give you this. They said, no. Then the devil said, well, we just going to have to change the motherfucking rules so we can get that shit, which is what they've been doing, right?
I got something else. It says, the aftermath and legacy. It says the legal battle and then compensation refused, right? It says the Sioux Nation pursued legal recourse for decades. In the 1980 Supreme Court case, United States versus New Sioux Nation of Indians, the court ruled that the U.S. had engaged in dishonorable dealings and an illegal taking of the land. So it says compensation. The court awarded the Sioux Nation over $100 million in compensation, which has grown to over $1 billion with interest in the trust fund today. But the Sioux Nation has consistently refused the money, demanding the return of their sacred land instead. The dispute over the ownership of the Black Hills continues to this day.
Yeah, because that's what it was about. They kept saying, look, we don't want your money. This is just our land is holy to us. They're like, no, we can't just let them have that land with all that. That's why they want to go to Nigeria and bomb them and all this. Because they're like, no, we just can't let y'all have access to all that because we need to lead. Because like in Colombia and other places is where they're investing in what? Their minerals, because for the most part, Central America and South, that land mass is rich in a lot of minerals. Like 60%, I think, of the world's lithium comes out of, I think, Colombia, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why they have an interest over on this side. It's not because they care about the people, okay? So, and their whole thing, we just can't let y'all do this without, we can't let no land y'all operate off the natural world, and we don't control it. Oh hell no, we got to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what World War One and World War Two and World War Three is going to be all about. Complete control. It's all because we don't, as Edomites, we don't want the world to be able to function and use what the Lord gave, because the Lord gave literally the things you pay for. The Lord gives it to you for free each day: water, electricity, gas, all of that. It's only because of as the scripture says, unjust gains and dealings got by deceit is why you need a water filtration system so goddamn intricate. Even then, your pipes they still say don't drink from your pipes because it's still polluted. So if you get a house, you still got to get a filter. You got to do all that. You got to pay for it. You got to pay for your electricity, all that. The Lord gives it for free. But the devil says we want it for ourselves.
Like that damn, like you did a video of that damn devil, little you fall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can make God mad however much we want.
We don't need them anymore.
Yeah. Like you said, the Lord give us all these things for free. I believe over there, I think it was Cameroon or Sierra Leone, somewhere up in that little West Coast region of Africa. They found these rocks that touch them as electricity.
Yeah.
So I wonder that's how they figured that out, and now they going over there to get that shit.
Yeah.
They found hills of gold, like underneath dirt hills. They found gold over there in Cameroon, and so they making their way over there to steal again. That's what it's always been about. Taking shit.
Oh shit, the niggas got something.
Yeah.
And then want to say it's our land now. Like, nigga, this wasn't never yours from the get go.
Remember what they say? Oh, them piss poor countries or whatever. What Trump call them?
Third world country.
He called them something worse than that.
Shithole country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he called them that.
Yeah.
Shithole countries. Why you want to go over there then?
Yeah.
You want to police the whole time. You don't, like the brother said, you don't care about the people. You want the resources over there, man.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want y'all to be able to fully sustain on your own. He wants to control that.
Right.
Yeah, and look, and if that was the case, since you got everything, what are you doing with the resources? You still got potholes in the goddamn streets. Cars still made out of plastic and styrofoam.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I was gonna add like that movie Black Panther. Why was the United States getting mad at Wakanda? They were like, well, we thought this is unfair that you're not telling us about where you're at and letting us get some of your resources. That's basically what they was getting mad at them for.
Yeah.
Why were you guys not at the UNC? They was getting mad at them because they want their resource. They wanted that vibranium.
And the main guy was basically the bad guy. The bad guy was the good guy.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, Esau Edom ended up going and getting showed and took over there and was like, oh yeah, you done fucked up.
I got friends who they big in the comic books, but they got so one of them, he was like, it's not good when you rooting for the bad guy. Well, it's like, because that's the whole point. They trying to live on their own like Magneto. Magneto's really the good guy. This whole thing is they want us dead, so we should just try to live on our own. But it's Xavier and them. No. We gotta work with them. But it's Magneto trying to show them, look, they want us dead. That's the same with the Israelites. We trying to be separate, but then you got the 2/3 and the coons. No, we can't just lead them out. Yes, the hell we can. This ain't got nothing to do with them.
He even had it in Deadpool 2, where he was all like, basically like Magneto and Charles Xavier was basically like I forgot the word that he used. It was basically based off of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Magneto, he was always trying to tell Xavier not to trust these humans. Guess what? Xavier kept on trying to trust the humans. What did the humans end up doing?
creating them damn senators and to hunt the mules down. You know, so you go to show you, like Magneto was right. You know?
They even it was I think it was the latest Transformers or whatever, where they had the
Cemetery Win, the fourth one where they was hunting the Autobots down.
yeah, with the
Dinobots in there.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the
I
fourth.
forgot.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot what they called them. I can't even remember, but the animals or whatever, the animal robots or whatever. And you had that fucking demonic robot just eating up all the planets and shit and everything.
Oh, you talking about Unicron?
Yeah, that one. Shit, even Star Wars too. You had the Resistance, and I think it was what, the Federation or something like that.
This Ecclesiasticus of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, right, he'll come to you. Esau like to come to you with that no bass in his voice, real high pitched, squeaky, like he's so non-threatening. Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at thy last remember my words and be pricked therewith. You know, so when all this happened and you don't take heed, and then this happened, you're gonna be like, damn, you're gonna be stung, and you know, and you're gonna be hurt. Like, damn, I should have listened. You know, this man is a straight snake, man.
What the next verse in there say?
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast?
Right. So it gets to a point where you just deserve. You keep falling for the same old okie doke.
Yeah.
Who gonna feel sorry for you? Everybody should know this is how the U.S. gets down. They promise this, they promise that, but in actuality, they're coming to steal.
Yeah.
They're coming to ensnare. Right? Why? Because they want you subject under them. They don't want to help. They don't want to do nothing. That's why it's known now. If you do make a discovery or come up with something beneficial, you better keep that shit to yourself, because you might disappear. Okay? Because if anything that's brought forth that can relieve people from either being sick, you think they're not gonna push the herbs? That's why I looked this up. If you wanted to try to be an herbalist, you got to travel, because there's only a handful in the country, because they're not about to push that. But if you want to go for medical, you go down the street. You got a whole plethora of options to choose, especially St. Louis. I didn't know, but people travel here to go to school here because of foreign Jewish and all that.
Yeah,
All this
they get like the best like doctorate program to go to.
That whole thing.
Wash you area.
All that.
Yeah,
So you can go down the street and there's like 10 to 20 different nursing programs. But if you want to be an herbalist, you got to travel to California. Why? Because they ain't gonna push that. Why? Because if everybody understood that they can build their own pharmacy basically in their backyard, that the devil says that means we can't control that. That means more people heal. No, we need people in the loop. See the doctor, pay the bill, pay the prescription, so everybody can keep getting paid.
Get treated, don't get cured.
As they say, there's no cure.
No profit.
There's no profit.
A patient cured is a customer lost. You know, that's the motto.
And I was gonna say, like, let you start like growing food, having livestock or whatnot. You know, we was talking about it before. They had sent a Terminator seed. They had put a Terminator seed in your soil. You know, and what that does, it kills all the. It basically makes that whatever that plant is not be able to reproduce again. So basically, it just start dying off every bit of a time.
That's literally, man. That's literally what Monsanto's all about.
Yeah.
If you go to a Monsanto website, it's gonna be the most beautiful looking website. Oh, we save world, ending world hunger. But talk to the farmers. They tell you can't even buy seeds that reproduce. They call it terminator seeds or something like that. That they don't reproduce. But remember, when they set up Monsanto, this was to stop world hunger.
Yeah.
But yet there's still world hunger. But then they say, well, if this is really to stop world hunger, why are you making it to where my seeds don't reproduce? Because control.
It's all about control the whole time.
From the jump, control.
But they got all the real seeds of shit stored away in what is that place? I believe it's I think it might be either in North Dakota or Alaska. It's like a little triangle shaped um, vault that they keep all the seeds from all around the world of all the natural seeds that can reproduce naturally. They keep them locked away in this vault. They say it's for emergency in case something globally happens and they have to start all over.
For them,
Right, for them, yeah.
Everybody know that. Because they got to start with the real seed to genetically modify to take it out. So they got the real, but they giving you the fake. You know?
Yeah.
But remember, it was to stop world hunger, but now they have complete control over the farmers, etc. That's how he gets down, man. He get his foot in the door. We're trying to save the people in Africa, so they'll go over there, take pictures with them. Half of them Hamites, save the kids and all this, all the other stuff. They're looking to save. So they got you to support now. They got complete control.
And they hit somewhere it's like, if they find Monsanto seeds on your soil, now they own your land because they got a patent on it, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Which is in St. Louis. That's how you know this place got to get hit big time.
Yeah,
that's why that the Lord sent that meteorite as a symbol to destroy this arch.
I seen that too when I was driving. I was coming in. I seen that. It was like it just came and faded away. I'm like, what is that?
I seen that before too. The earth for a brief second just shine green. Yeah. What's that? Meteorite come and burn up, as they say.
Cherry right there.
Oh, and it look green. It look green.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah.
And it's moving quick. That's
There's
it.
two of them right there. There's two of them flying in the same pattern.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, I do. Yep. So they're making rounds. You know.
They always stopping by the camp.
That's right.
Like what y'all brothers?
Isaiah 33. Confirming the word. Yeah. Confirming the word. For the record, you don't hear any other camp talk about the chariots that go come up. Don't visit them. Because best believe if it did, IUIC would take it and they will make a whole video off of it. Chariots come to visit, they don't get visited. They don't even look up.
I was just gonna say that.
They too busy trying to build schools.
They really they really try to do without the Lord. So they ain't gonna look up. No, we don't want the Lord to do. And what they gonna do? Praise Jesus?
Right. They definitely not.
Not gonna praise the name
for the Lord's agenda, getting the fuck up out of this place, getting this place destroyed. They're all about building here, man.
And here it is. You see this happening, and you think Esau just gonna let you build a community? She will come and drop a bomb and kidnap Nick. That's what he would do if you think he's just gonna let you in his own backyard go and prosper. Man, he already got all that under wraps.
Start from top. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, starting at the first verse. It says, "Woe to thee that spoileth, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee."
See, so that as the phrase goes, what goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. When you Edomites, eventually you're going to be the ones raising the right flag, and it's going to want to talk. And that's when these other nations are going to bone rush you, like, we ain't talking nothing. Oh, now you want to talk. You drop bombs first, ask questions later.
Right.
You literally make a peace treaty deal and then bomb the hospital the next day in Gaza. See, they do that because they know ain't nothing going to happen to us. But that's why the Lord said something is going to happen to this place. That's why you call the virgin daughter of Babylon, because you ain't never been touched. But it's going to happen. And that's why I say what? Peace and safety? then sudden destruction.
I was gonna say, also say you will no longer be called the virgin daughter. You know, meaning you gonna get hit, man. No pun intended. But hey, Lord cold though. You know, you shall no longer be called the virgin daughter, man. Don't get touched. Mm-hmm.
This the book of Revelation, chapter 11. I'm gonna start at verse 15. It says, "And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his anointed, and he shall reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders which sat before Yahweh on their seats fell upon their faces and worshiped Yahweh, saying, we give thee thanks, O Lord Yahweh Almighty, which art and was and art to come, because thou hast taken thee to thee thy great power and his reign. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth."
Right. Why? Because this man has to be stopped because he's destroying the earth. Those AI data centers destroying the earth. Okay? And it's all because he's following exactly how Rome fell. Rome fell the same way. They stretched their armies, they stretched themselves too thin. And why is that? Because they were trying to keep complete control over everything and watch over everyone. That's what this is all about. Esau trying to mimic the Heavenly Father. All right, the Heavenly Father wrote his laws on stone. Esau erected his laws on stone, those Georgia guide stones. And guess what? Don't nobody know how those came about. It's just a sight to see, but there's no real history on it. So don't nobody know who wrote this up, erected this, and wrote 10 laws. Don't nobody know how that happened? Get the fuck out of here.
Or how it blew up.
And the first one is what? Maintain humanity
Under 500,000.
under 500 million.
Yeah, 500.
Yeah, in balance with nature. That's what it says. What they're trying to be like the Most High.
Teach them how to or control reproduction was number 2 or 3. They want to control who can reproduce and who can't.
And when you look up all the people that's in charge right now, even going back to what's that FBI guy name? No, he's
J. Edgar Hoover.
Derek Hoover. Even him. All these people all have an agreement that depopulation needs to be the number one agenda.
Yeah.
That was his words. So they're all about what? Control, population control. Gates of hell. What did he say to the open public?
Right.
Population is increasing. That's a problem. Right. But with the help of Jab, we can reduce that by 10%. Everybody just start clap.
Yeah. But the Hebrew Israelites the worst thing out there. Men out there preaching in the cold.
So then they still don't connect the dots. These people falling the fuck out after the jab we made mandatory. It's misinformation. All right, man. To hell with you people, man.
Yeah, no, it was just die suddenly.
Healthy athletes
die suddenly.
And they was young. Some of them was like 19, 20, 21, 22.
You don't know. They just die suddenly. Yeah, okay. Then you got Israelite groups that promoted that. Man. That's why they're mad, because now you got to take an account for it. And guess what? Trump's about to push the 6G. The 6G. And in that said what? Implantable devices. And we already know that stuff's dangerous already. What's going to happen to all those people who took the jab?
Because it's a guy that was, I think I put it in the chat. It was a guy that was some type of doctor, but he was going around evaluating the people who had got it, and he said they all had the same symptoms, and he was scanning them with like a metal detector or whatever. He said like it's nanoparticles are showing up in the same areas of these people's body who show the same symptom. He said when the 6G is activated, it's gonna activate in these jab people.
And guess what? That's all of our family. Who knows? Who knows what's about to happen?
And on top of that, it was like vaccinated blood versus somebody who didn't have it. Man, that blood looked all brown and all just dead,
Evil,
man.
yeah.
It's that
Evil blood.
yeah. And it said that the people who who took the jab, they was looking at their sperm cells. They basically don't exist no more.
Yeah.
So you basically wounded in your stones. And the scriptures talk about a man that's wounded in his stones cannot enter into the congregation of the Lord. You're not even a man no more because your body ain't even producing sperm.
Remember seeing a video where they was looking at someone's blood and stuff like that and had these little strands in it.
Yeah.
It's like worms.
Yeah, it was going through all they arteries and stuff. It was the same, you know, um, shape as their arteries. Like that's where they got the clotting from, and that's where a lot of those people that was having heart attacks from, because your blood pressure raised and it's not getting to where it needs to get to in the body, and then your heart just give out and you just drop dead.
And there were several people who boasted about getting it. One of them, Edomite, if I die such and such, I'm taking it, nigga dead. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He ain't the only one, but there's several people that just end up dead after. And then they showed it with the women. They were showing how something was attacking their uterus, or when they had a baby, something was attacking it, which was causing miscarriages. And they also showed that it came out in their breast milk, which is virtually impossible because there's a lot of barriers, but this is able to bypass those barriers. Okay? And you get it right here in your arm, so it can shoot, and it got in the breast milk. Okay?
Right.
So that was no what they would call a jab. That was a test.
It was another. It was this doctor that was basically saying like, hey, yeah, if you took the jab, you might as well just go and get tested for HIV.
And then go sue your government.
Right.
Next thing you know, he ended up dead.
Yeah. Because, you know, the two main blood cells are the white blood cells. That's the defense. That's your body's military. And then that's your red blood cells. That's the body's 9 to 5 workers. You know, shit. Once those two things are destroyed, there is no body.
Right.
You know.
And
Defenseless.
there are ways to detox that out your system. You gotta look it up. I still got the video on my phone, but there are ways to detox that. You know. But yeah, because coming into the 6G, who knows what that's gonna bring, man. Like I said, our family took it. So if people just start getting sick when they start to roll that out, we know the deal.
Hey, prepare yourself, Aki. Because these people, our people, they've been scoffing for decades, man. I've been in this truth for a decade, which is nothing compared to the apostle. But shit. But that's a long time to keep telling somebody the same shit over and over again, and they don't take heed to the advice that you're giving them about what the scriptures say and about what it don't say.
Yeah, they even bringing back the mandatory shots for hospital workers. So they're starting that shit up again.
Okay. This is book of Proverbs, chapter 1. Okay. Can I start at 25? Book of Proverbs, chapter 1, starting at the 25th verse. It says, "But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would not of my reproof. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mark when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For they that hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord Yahweh, they would none of my counsel, they despise all my reproof."
Right, and that's because so the Lord basically said that could come into you suddenly. You might just suddenly start feeling sick all of a sudden, you know, and then put two to two together when they start rolling out this 6G, okay? And like somebody had already broke down, 6G has nothing to do with technology or whatever. It's to put you in the interface, to put your body with the technology, with the world. So they about to really hone in and put some dangerous waves out there that's gonna harm people. And if your blood ain't right, you know, who knows? And then it says, what the Lord just said, he said, then they shall call upon me.
Yeah.
Right.
I will not answer.
He said, because you didn't choose the fear of the Lord. Because at that time, the Israelite group, like ISUPK, who promoted it, they did it because they wanted to feel safe. Everybody else is doing it, so they wanted to do it. They didn't choose the fear of the Lord. Okay, brothers actually suffered, you know, and got sick, but prayed to the Lord and came out of it.
Yeah.
Felt down, but come out of it. Because they even told you it didn't even stop you from getting it.
Right. So what was the point?
Yeah,
Of even taking it in the first place?
but you all went and did it because you wanted to feel safe. Well, everybody else doing it, so let's just all comply.
Oh, the Most High, and which we heard all the damn excuses in the book. You know, man, Jake is a master of excuses, man. Oh, well, God give you 5 senses. Oh, well, you got to obey the laws of the land. You know, we heard all that bullshit, man. But you're not going to be able to tell you how much Shmuel shot in that day. Oh, well, you got to obey the laws of the land. What was you going to say?
I said they told you in the first beginning paragraph of the Moderna, it's a operating system, you know, like the one in your computer, telling you it's nanotechnology that they shooting in your ass.
And you can't come sue us for any damages.
Right.
Okay? And then only after the fact,
And you niggas still did. You know, because you have no faith in your how much Shmuel shot.
and now all of a sudden you quoting what they talking about. They said that the people that did take it, they slowing up progress. Oh, now you quoting them, right? And that's why Captain Zaryak said what? We gonna all do what he say anyway. He tell us to go do this. We gonna go. Ain't no we all nothing. It says 7,000. Lord has 7,000 that will not bow to the image of all. Who is this? We all. Just because you all gonna fold under pressure, okay? Don't mean the elect is.
Right.
But what the Lord, you keep going. You're gonna the reward for not choosing the fear of the Lord, but your own way. You're gonna eat the fruit of your own way. So whatever happens to you out there, because of whatever's about to happen, that's on you. What you want us to tell you?
I got you.
Con.
Get ready.
But back in the book of Proverbs, chapter 1,
How long we been going?
148.
starting
Yeah,
at
4 minutes late. I should have said something 4 minutes. I was on point last time. Go ahead, man.
Proverbs chapter 1, starting at the 30th verse. They would none of my counsel, they despise all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whosoever hearken unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
That's it. Can you be Zephaniah chapter 2? That's the goal, is to be quiet from evil. So the Lord basically said, for all of you all who don't believe me and you did your own things, you're gonna eat the fruit of your own way. So whatever happens, happens. Some people had got Bell palsy. Some people got maimed. Some people went to sleep, never woke up. Well, and who knows what's about to happen with the 6G? Who knows?
Turn into zombies.
You know, you should have chose the fear of the Lord. And we was looked at as fools, right? We was a bunch of fools for not complying and not doing this, not doing that. Don't seem like it now. You know, I even heard women go on the internet and they was criteria for their criteria. Most men, they like, if you got that jab, I'm not dealing with you. She said because that's a sign that you ain't a man. In a sense, like you ain't thinking under pressure. I'm like, look at that. And you know, a lot of men got mad at that. And like, I'm probably mad because you probably went and took it. You know, because you got a woman basically telling you, oh, hell no, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
what they talking about? Unvaccinated sperm is gonna be the going rate or something like that. Yeah,
Shit,
something like that.
hey, even for you older brothers, it ain't gonna matter.
I was just getting ready to say
About-
that. Even for us old cats.
Right.
Something like
I
that.
was just getting ready to say that.
The Lord said he should make a man more precious than gold.
I know.
Yeah, you never know, man, because vaccinated vagina is different from unvaccinated. Because those type of like the jab basically attacked your genitalia area.
Because the gates of hell and all the people that's involved in it.
Right. So yeah, here it is. You trying to talk to a woman and she rejects you, and you don't know if she took the vaccine or not.
She gonna say they women. So if you ask them and they know it's gonna affect how you see them, they'll just lie.
They'll lie.
Right.
Yep.
You gonna have to make it sneak out of them.
Right. A lot of times they say it, vaxxed and boosted and
Right.
yeah, like
You gotta be like go with them to Walgreens or something. And
right.
hear them talk about what they done all took. You gotta overhear.
They just be like, hey, did you take your flu shot? If she say yeah, then that means she took the damn.
Right.
Something like that.
I would probably go at it like I would pretend as if I'm for it. Yeah, I'm all for it. Are you? You did? Oh hell no. That's how you got it. But
Ghosted.
Jason, you'd be like, see, brother, Scripture said be wise as a serpent, yet harmless as a dove. What the?
and that's why. And if you did take it, all I would say is go look up the detox because there's a way that it could be detoxed. You know what I'm saying? It's like a blood cleaner. You got to do the natural herb. That's what I would suggest. It's on TikTok. I'm sure that I saved the video. I don't know. You got to go look up the detox. That's what I recommend. Just go try to do a detox of anything. But otherwise, you have to have prayer.
You can do this with the jab. You can't do that with the chip.
Yeah.
Ain't no detoxing with the chip.
Yeah,
Right.
once it's in you, it's in you. You done for.
This is the book. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, starting from the top. And it reads, it says, gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation, not desired. Before the decree bring forth, before the days pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord Yahweh comes upon you, before the day of the Lord Yahweh anger comes upon you. Seek ye the Lord Yahweh, ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord Yahweh's anger.
That's what it's all about. We seek to be hid in the day of anger. That's it. When a storm comes, we want to be hid. We want to be protected. That's all we looking for. So if somebody say, well, what you gonna do? What y'all gonna do? All I hope is that the Lord will remember me in that day and keep me safe. That's it. But the scripture tell you that 1,000 gonna die at your right hand and 1,000 on your left, but it shall not come nigh thee. Which that means that you might be in the midst of some shit, scarcely saying, and or you might just witness a lot of falling to death or whatever. But you gonna be good. You gonna see it, but you gonna be untouched. Which means we gonna see some things. We gonna go through some things. We just hoping that we get remembered. Every time the Lord bring the anger, people just pray. I hope the Lord remember me that day. You might get engulfed. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get engulfed. I hope the Lord remember me. And that's what Nehemiah said. Lord, remember my work. I'm trying to get things right. Jake want to go back. I'm trying to get things right. Just remember me. That's all we can ask for. And that's what it said. We may be hid in the evil day. That's all we striving for. We don't know where we're gonna end up, what's gonna happen. That whole arch thing, the Lord symbolically showing that. Hey, remember we still got the earthquake. Okay, we still got the New Madrid fault line. The Lord basically saying that arch is going down. We don't know how. Okay. You also had somebody put that St. Louis, Missouri will be a target for a nuclear strike because it got a Federal Reserve Bank It also got history regarding nuclear capability or some shit like that.
Right.
We we might be in the midst of it. We just hope that we pray. When that tornado came, I think it landed for like 2 minutes. Okay, this brother got affected, but he was good. You know, a little uncoupled for a little bit without life, but he was good though. Compared to people who lost their homes, you know.
Those back took off of their heart. You never still up on the north side. And you practice. We gotta put them. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, and verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Right. So this goes into the war that Esau Edom is going to fight against Yahweh Shai and the rest of the angels, starting off with Michael. Okay. And yeah, and it says what? They prevailed not. So it's already written that you're gonna lose. You know, and, hey, everything else happened. You know, the transatlantic slave trade, the falling away happened. You know, basically the statue that Nebuchadnezzar saw. You know, Daniel interpreted his dream. That literally all happened. You know, so therefore your downfall is gonna happen as well, because it's all prophesied in the scriptures. And it said that they love not their lives unto death. You know, because hey, we hate our lives over here, man. You know, we hate our lives, we hate our bodies, you know, we hate our situations, we hate our jobs, we hate you people.
Yeah, we gotta, yeah. Because that's the thing, like our lives is at most just gonna be okay. Nothing too spectacular. You'll have your highs and your lows, mainly lows. But other than that, ain't none of us, we can never fully enact our full potential in this place.
Right.
We really can't do it, you know. So at best, we're just, you know, we're really just passing through.
Yeah.
The Lord got judgments for this place. We're just passing through. Part of that is goes into sacrifice,
Right.
and, you know, and accepting that you're not really gonna be able to do the most you can do. You can just do enough. And like I said, your lives is okay at best.
God, to add to that, that's what our Lord told us, you know, we shall be scarcely saved. We barely gonna make it, you know, but still be saved at the end of the day. You know, basically saved by the skin of our teeth. You know, so whatever we gotta go through, we gotta go through it. You know, because hey, that's what was prophesied unto us. You know, we gotta go through the straight gate. So as Yahushua told us, the servant is not greater than his master. So, you know, we gotta understand, like, hey, where we go through, we gotta go through it.
Right? Like that picture that brother shared about the woman that lost her whole family in 1 year. She has 6 kids. She lost them all in 1 year. Her and her husband and all that. And I was like, hey, who's to say that can't happen to any one of us? Because you might be the only one out of your family the Lord saved. Then what? You gonna get mad at the Lord? He fulfilled his promise. He said, I was gonna save you. You might be the only one.
Right.
You know? And all that can happen. And guess what? That woman, she still got to push on. She can't stop. You know? And it's like, damn, that's fucked up. But it can't happen. It happens to people every day, for the most part. It happened to Job. He lost everything in one swoop. Only thing the Lord left him was his wife. But then she eventually got mad at him and cursed him. So he definitely felt alone. But the scripture tell you, since I said that, can you get that Job last chapter? To tell you his latter year was better.
And in other words, you got to be cool with being by yourself, man. Standing alone. which don't get me wrong, you of course, most definitely, you don't got nobody. You got your how much now, Sean.
Hey, that's the best support to have. Man.
That's right. But you got the brotherhood as well, you know. But for the most part, you know you alone. You walking alone, man. Like a brother, unless you work with a brother. But for the most part, it's you and the rest of these other damn demons out here. You know, or your father, whoever you fool with. But for the most part, when y'all start talking about the scriptures, you know, it's like, oh, you know, y'all don't believe the same things that I believe. So there's really no point of this conversation. You know, I got a little bit more. Verse 12, it said, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is coming down to you having great wrath, because he know that he had but a short time. Right. And these Edomites, they know they have but a short time. You know, they trying to get this shit on and popping before Trump is out of office. They saying by 2030, which we know that they trying to establish it way more sooner than that. You know. Yeah. But yeah, man. How long Trump been in office? 2 years? A year. A year?
This is the second year.
Yeah, right.
They short on time. That's why they got to move fast.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, he only got 3 years left. So
I was just looking up when they bring about 6G, they're basically saying, you know, they're gonna start doing test trials in 2026. But those test trials are going to be the field test. You know, they saying the field test is going to be in 2028. Just like as we've been going into this whole lesson, you know, we can't put nothing by Esau, man. Just because he say this year don't mean he ain't gonna do it now. So just believe he's gonna do those field tests this year. You know, so you start seeing people dropping dead, you know why.
you already got that one nigga, simple nigga, 2/3 nigga gonna be in the lake of fire. That nigga, oh yeah, I got a brain chip.
Oh
You
yeah.
know? So yeah, like I volunteered for this and that. You know, it's like it's gonna come out like it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, it's gonna allow these paraplegics to walk again. If you blind, you know, you get that Neuralink, you're gonna be able to see again. You know, or if you got your leg or your arm blown off in Afghanistan in 2025, then boom, here go this robot arm. You know, but you got to get this chip in the process.
They show you that in that game, Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot what they called it, but it was a chip they put right here in the spine, so you can be able to operate the arms and legs and stuff that you lost.
Yeah.
You know?
And even on the that Halo series that was on Netflix, they had to put like a chip in their back that would like it would kind of basically desensitize them to war, and you know what I'm saying. Basically, they didn't have any emotions and it was easier to control. But then when they took the chip out, now that now they can feel these different emotions. They can feel like it is to be a human.
What did the company call? You play Halo before. What did they call Master Chief? They called him the Jinx.
Yeah.
You know? So they're going to show you something.
Yeah, Job. This is the book of Job, chapter 42, starting at the 10th verse. And the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, the Lord Yahweh gave Job twice as much as he had before. Then came unto him all his brethren and all his sisters and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house, and they bemoaned him and comforted him all over the evil that the Lord Yahweh had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one an earring of gold. That's 11. So I'm gonna go down to 12. It says, so the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning, for he had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels and 1,000 yoke of oxen and 1,000 she asses. He had also 7 sons and 3 daughters, and called the name of the first
Jemima.
Jemina, and the name of the second Kezida,
Cassie.
Kezia, and the name of the third,
Karen Capuche.
yes, Karen Capuche. And all the land where no woman found so far as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them inheritance among the brethren.
So as you see, Job lost it all, and the Lord blessed his latter end greater than the first. See, the Lord has the power to do that.
Gave him better kids.
Yeah, gave him better kids. Because I tell you in the first chapter, Job knew his children were disobedient. That's why he's praying for them, sacrificing for them. Right? The Lord blessed him in the latter end more than his first. So that can happen. Who's to say that can't happen to none of them? You might be the only one out of your family the Lord redeemed. And guess what that means? You're gonna start over in the kingdom. It starts
right.
with over with you.
That's right.
So look at that.
Hey, call on like right?
Yeah. So
It's like you have to say, hey, what did the Lord say? Whoso loses his life for my sake shall find it. You know, because we all basically lost our lives. You know, we had goals and dreams and aspirations. You know, but when we came to the truth, the Most High took all that away. You know, as far as us to stay occupied in prophecy and push His word.
Or even the desire to chase after that shit, man.
Right. Yeah, because you know what the latter end of it is.
Right.
Because number one, if you don't got your how about you try, you ain't got nothing. You know? Because hey, even when I was on the path to, you know, quote unquote be successful, I didn't feel right. You know, I felt like I shouldn't be doing this. I feel like I'm just on a hamster wheel.
Right.
You know, I'm just trying to just appease my family or appease the world and make it look like I'm successful or whatever, bullshit like that.
Too much to compromise.
Yeah.
And sometimes you lose it all twice before you come to the truth.
yeah.
You know,
So that's
because the Lord will do it before you actually come into the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
that too. So that's
Speaking from
that's,
experience.
I was about to say that.
You ain't lying.
I was about to say that's nothing but experience. That's an experience one that can tell you everything really comes and goes. What's here today could be gone the next day. Just like the scripture says, today the grass, tomorrow is in the furnace. You know. So that's this is how the Lord gets us ready for what's about to come. Even the disciples, like he says, take no script for your purse. Don't take 2 coats. He's telling them don't take more than what you need. You know, because if you was packing for a trip, you pack my suitcase. I got an extra pair of this in case. Okay. But when he took that walk, he said just take enough, because he said the word of him is working before it's hired. And then, because he basically said you're gonna be taken care of throughout this trip. Trust me. And in the end, he asked them for the supper, when I sent you all out, did you lack anything? And they said nothing. So that was that. They had to walk in that faith, because the Lord basically said, don't take more in abundance. I'm gonna make sure you taken care of. This whole thing is a walk of faith for us to get us ready. So when we see stuff like that, you can say, damn, that woman lost it, fucked up. I look at it and say, hey, who said it can't happen? Look, happened to Job. And the Lord bless his latter end. But we gonna bug out? No, you gotta keep pushing. That woman, she gotta keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? And it might be women like that get saved just like that. You know, she might end up with a man of the Lord if she's sincere. Who knows? That's what the Lord is able to do.
Because we're not exempt from that. You know? If you thinking that it can't happen to you, it will happen to you. You know? Every brother up here can have a testimony of things they lost before the truth and while they were in the truth. You know, like the brother said. You know, it could be family, it could be a job, it could be financial issues, whatever. You know, and like the brother said, it's all getting you prepared for that day where you have to go out with just what you have.
You know?
Right. And yeah. Matter of fact, I had a precept. My bad. If any other brother didn't have it, this is Book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 12. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not unto thy own understanding. Right? So that means literally, you know, like here it is. You might think that you have it all mapped out and all that, but that's not really good for your spirit. But the Lord, see, you know, you got to learn how to let let go, because none of us are in control of our lives, and we all had to learn it the hard way that there is no free will. You know, that's the shit they teach in the Christian church. You know, thinking that you can control your destiny and you ain't supposed to suffer. Like, nah, man. Like, especially when you come to the truth, hey, that's all you do is suffer. But in the midst of you suffering, hey, your mind and your countenance is better. You know, you more wiser. You have more patience. You know, you can see through games. You know that people play or these women play towards you. You know, I had a manager. You know, he might see this in the future, but I don't give a damn. But yeah, he was out like when I was asking for a raise. He like, man, we already gave you a raise. I'm all like, nah, you didn't give me a raise, bro. Don't even try to play that game on me, bro. You know, like they be trying to play mind games and shit with you.
Yeah,
You know,
and throughout your walk, you basically gonna get known from the Lord. You always gonna go through a time where you're gonna feel alone. He gonna put you in that for a reason. Okay, he even
right,
said about Lamentation of Jeremiah. You're gonna feel
right,
alone because you have a shotgun let you know it's me and you, right? You know,
right.
and a lot of people really don't like to be alone. Most people don't like to be alone. Hey, solitary confinement is a strategic.
Take a picture.
Yeah, that's fine. Solitary confinement is a strategic, I mean, way of, you could say, punishment, because they know a lot of people can't stand that. You know what I'm saying? And I had a dream at one point I was in there. So I did a lesson on it. As you consider solitary confinement, okay? Because that's what Esau do, and he knows how to do that, especially when he's dealing with someone who thinks that they a rebel. You come in their little prison ward or whatever, and you think you something. Oh, okay, this nigga think he's something. Throw him in solitary confinement since he think he's something. That's how he did Denzel off the Hurricane. Oh, you think you something? Throw him in concentration. Throw him in solitary confinement.
Yeah.
You know, it's things like that. You're like, okay, because he knows that for a lot of people that could be considered torture, especially for a woman.
And sometimes you know like that's what you need, so you can self reflect on what you've done.
Like,
You know?
like this word, solitude.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's good to be in there. Like, where do Superman go when he's done saving the day? He goes back to the fortress of solitude. This is definition of the word solitude. It says the state or situation of being alone, you know, or a lonely or uninhabited place. So, hey, sometimes you got to be in your state of solitude, man. And it's good for you sometimes. Don't
And
get away from the world.
it means you're comfortable with your own company, your own presence, and others. You can abide by that. Most of these people can't, like I said, like a woman, they can't.
Right.
They always on the phone. Got some. I remember on the job one day. Soon as this woman walked in, all right, we need some music playing. I'm like, I can't deal with the silence stuff. I was like, what's wrong with silence? To each his own. I'm like, okay. So that's how you know at home. Imagine being at home with a woman like that. You ain't gonna ever have a moment of just silence because she can't
Always
she
doing
can't
something.
stand it.
Yeah,
Every
she multitasking their ass off, man. On the phone, we got the TV on, got the dog barking in the background.
every 5 minutes, calling your name, trying to get attention from you, trying to talk to you and all that. Can't even ride in the car. Can we turn on some music? I can't. Just be
Yeah,
quiet.
people. Yeah, people steady calling her phone every goddamn 10 minutes, man. I get irritated. People keep calling my damn phone. Like, what? I'm like, leave me alone.
Like, you didn't want shit.
I remember this girl was telling me like you need to change your ways. Or you gonna die alone. I'm like, that shit don't move me. Like I don't have to be around him 24/7. Like, you know, like what I said, 2-3 hour window max.
My girl say the
That's away
same.
from me.
My girl say so. So you just gonna live like that till you an old man? Like, shit, hey.
Shit, hey, we at peace, man.
You're right.
Like we at peace, like being alone and just you know, like you learn to appreciate the little things in life when the Lord sits you down. I got a little bit more on it. It says verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thy own eyes for the Lord, and depart from evil. And it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. Right? So kind. So it's in your best interest, you know, to just submit yourself into the will of the Most High. I mean, which anyway, you're gonna submit one way or another. It's either one you submit, or two you take your ass off the planet. You know, but if you're trying to fight like our forefather Jonah was, he had to go through all that unnecessary hell just to end up doing it anyway. You know, so yeah, getting swallowed by a fish. You know, getting thrown. Here it is. You get thrown off a boat in the middle of a damn storm. You know that shit was scary, man. Like you in water, you don't know what's under your damn feet, and then all of a sudden, a big ass whale come and swallow you up. You're like, oh shit, you know, like you know he was messing up himself, man.
Yeah, he was hiding on the ship. You know,
You gotta single it out, yeah.
yeah, it's him. It's him. Get his ass. Oh.
It said that they went through everybody on the ship. But his ass was in the bottom of his sleep. And like, we didn't ask him yet about his guy. Yeah, he like, this is because of me. Because
But when you read that story, you know, it's basically like Lord can humble you like that, you know? And the Lord brought him right back to where he needed to go to.
Right. It still cracks me up. He just said, Jonah, up, go to Nineveh, prophesy against him. Jonah said, I'm out of here. The Lord put him back. As soon as he spit him back out, up, go to Nineveh, prophesy. Like I said, no, go over there and do it like I said.
It's like playing a video game and you die, you start right back at the checkpoint.
And
You're like, damn.
Yeah, and do what I told you.
went through all that for nothing.
I thought I could run.
Verse 11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, even as the father the son of whom he delighted. Right? And we've all been through that. You know, you can see yourself in Jonah. You know, but yeah, that's a funny story, but hey, at the same time, it's not funny because the Lord don't have to have mercy on you. You know, because you remember the prophet that went to I forgot where he went to, but well, basically, you know, it was told him not to eat, and he did it anyway. Eat or drink anything, and he did it anyway. And then the Lord had the lion rip him to shreds. You know, so the Lord didn't have to show mercy on none of us. The Lord showed mercy on us because He loved us.
The scriptures say, "Who can resist the will of the Lord?"
Right.
Try to go.
He gonna, if he wants you to do it, you're gonna do it.
King David said, if I even go to the deep hell, you were there, no matter where you go. And you always get that reminder. I do it. Like, dude, I'm trapped. Certain things you're trapped. And as Paul said, we are prisoners of Yahweh.
Yeah.
So it's actually good that you're trapped. But you know when
A good trap.
yeah, right. You know when you've been put in a position the Lord got you there, you're like, well,
Right,
the Lord this up. Yeah, the Lord like, this the end of the line, bro. Now what you gonna do?
Yeah. See, that's that. It's like you're a prisoner, and you can try to resist if you want, but what the scripture say, if you leave his shelter, now you're in danger. So it's best to go ahead and endure it. You know, like Paul said, I'm a prisoner.
And, you know, in that same sentence, you know, hey, the scripture said we are also prisoners of hope. You know, so hey, even though we are in our sentence at the end of the day, we still got hope at the end of the day. But like the brother said, the moment you step out of that hedge, you open for all the predators, man. But the Lord was trying to keep you from yourself and keep you from everything else, man. So when you try to resist that which Yahweh Shem Shai wants you to do, then at that point the Lord got to sit your ass down, and then you don't learn from that, and hey, it's all gloves off to what happens to you next. Man.
Yeah, it's like that movie, Born Ultimatum, or that series. But there was one where the guy, he was going to save the guy. He's like, "We get you out of together. So every word I say, like you leave my path, you're dead." He was telling him, he's like, "Stay right there. I think I can make it. I can make it. They're distracted. I can go." He's like, "No, no, no. I'm gonna go for it." Step five. Got sniped as soon as he walked out. The sniper was looking at him, waiting. All I had to do was stay inside. Like we was talking about the goats on that rock, right? The goat sitting on the rock. It's like sitting on the rock, you protected, danger all around you, but you got that one. I think we can make a run for it. They can't catch us. We faster. We're like, no, we just stay right here. They can't get us. We good. But you have one. We can make it. We make a run for it. They ain't looking now. Get his ass eaten up. But you left the rock. All you had to do is stay put.
Snatch you, drop you off.
Or a crocodile. You know those snaky motherfuckers right there.
Said some sneaky motherfuckers.
Yeah, they literally capitalize on thirsty.
Yeah.
So we gonna sit right here.
Yeah, they shit
Right underneath.
Yeah, man, crocodiles are serpents. They serpents.
They're waiting.
They just sit. They literally, and then you watch they'll disguise themselves, like bury themselves.
Yeah.
And they like, you gotta come eat. You gotta come drink.
Yeah.
So every critter before they drink, they don't just walk up and drink. They all
Looking at the
no.
water and shit.
no. And then when they do, you know, they barely got because they know. Some croc grab your ass. They know they gotta drink. So
Next thing you know, he got you in death row. You know, ass, rip you in half and shit.
you can read that, dude. So when you read this, I got Ezekiel 38. Just I think I made like the first 5 verses. Basically show you that when all this is happening in the world, the big main heavy hitters is gonna be these nations. China, Venezuela, all that. At the end of the day, they still gotta bring that chip first. So it ain't like World War III gonna pop off next week. It's getting close. These are all signs to that. But these are the main hitters. And this is what I look for in the prophecy. Okay. I don't give a damn about no North Korea and none of these motherfuckers. Okay. Unless they talking about shooting missiles at this place, their threats really don't mean nothing. Because I know prophecy wise, the main nations are these right here. You keep going.
This is Ezekiel 38 and 1.
It's the news.
And the word of the
You can
Lord
say
came to me
It's the
saying,
I ain't get in there.
Nah.
this is Ezekiel 38 and 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me saying, Son of man, set thy face against God and the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sort of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarters, and all of his bands, and many people with thee.
So Gog, which is the land rats of Russia, because you will read that and you say, oh, that's it, but those are the sons of Japheth. But it's talking about the land mass. And if you just look up an ancient map, Gog, Magog is the land of Russia. They said Persia, which is actually Iran, because they just started calling themselves Iran. I forgot the year, 19 something. But they instead of calling themselves Persians, they call themselves Iranians. So God, Persia, which is Iran, said Ethiopia, Libya, all them have an agreement. And he said Gomer to Gomar, which if you look that up, that's Turkey.
Yeah.
So what you should be looking for, the big next major move, has got to be when Turkey leaves NATO to join Russia. That's the next major move, big move that's going to have to happen. That's how you really know we at the end. So those are the nations that I pay attention to. China, all that back and forth, they got an agreement. Okay, because at the end of the day, they need to make their chips. It does affect or whatever, but World War III is when we get to these nations right here: Russia, Iran, Turkey's gonna have to leave NATO to join. That's gonna be huge. Okay, that's what the BRICS nation is all about. That's what you. That's gonna lead us to World War III. Everything that's happening now, well, as time progresses, we'll see what really comes out of this. But all it's gonna do is upset the world even more at the Edomites, at the whore, for breaking the rules. You know? But all y'all that think that something good gonna come out of it from Trump, Scripture says, "Then shall sudden destruction cometh upon you." Okay.
This verse 7.
Okay.
Verse 7. Be thou prepared and prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. You know, so Russia gonna be a guard unto Iran. And you see they poking with Iran, it's gonna force Russia to get involved, man.
That's right. Russia is really was preventing them this whole time anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, the Lord is gonna turn them back to that old Soviet spirit, man.
Which is what he said he's gonna do. I think this is maybe the next verse. The evil thought.
After verse 8, after many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Verse 10. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil, and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods, and dwell in the midst of the land.
Right. That evil thought is, and you can go look this up, but when they invaded Ukraine, right? Russia did, right? He said, I want to bring back the Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said. Okay. Which makes sense because NATO was originally formed to combat the Soviet Union or the USSR, but that has been since disbanded for a number of years now. But yet NATO's still here.
Mm-hmm.
So NATO's still here, and we know that the NATO is going to be that force that's going to fight against Yahushua and lose. But that evil thought is Putin saying, "I want to bring back the good old glory days." That's why Ukraine is mine, right? We bringing back the glory days. That's what this is all about. Then you got Revelation 16, where the Lord said He's going to drop the Euphrates River to make way for the kings of the earth, which they built the bridge so that they could have to get to who? Iran faster. All happening before your eyes. All prophetic, man.
When you see the Euphrates River right up out of it, it looks like a mega symbol. What does the mega stand for? It stands for the end.
Which is the last letter of the Greek alphabet, which means the end. And Yahweh say, I am the beginning and the end. Okay?
And he said that's where he was going to have the armies, kings of there together for the battle, man.
Found in Joel 3, the battle of Armageddon, Armageddon, the place of the Lord's judgment, which is in the Middle East. That's what this is all about. See, we can decipher all the codes of the scriptures, like we explain the motive. What's the motive? Esau wants to control. He wants to be God on the planet Earth. All right. In the midst of all this is going to lead to World War III. It's already prophesied, man. And watch the next big move. Because Turkey already talking about it. The Turkey's going to have to leave NATO and join forces with Russia. That's going to be huge. That's one of the main ones of Ezekiel 38 that has to happen first, and then the microchip. So there's Venezuela, all this happening. yeah, it's gonna move forward things a little bit. It's kind of huge, but Ezekiel 38, this is what we're looking for right here. And then you got the microchip 6G. Man, yeah, I got anything else? So stay tuned, okay? Because the year just started. That's what we just. The year's just started, and whatever we find out, we'll let you know. That's our job as watchmen. But I do like that the most. You know, a lot of people are coming to the scriptures. A lot of people are just looking towards the Bible now. We got a lot more listeners now. Everybody wants to listen to the word, which is how it should be. So our job is just to relay the message to you. That's it. So then we give all praise to you.
Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Chakadash.
Until next time, shalom.
Shalom.
One minute, bro.